Good evening once again. You are welcome to our series, Prayer Insights. Today, without any waste of time, we are going to talk about change. Change, as we know, it's inevitable. Change is something that always happens, and the reference scripture will be found from the book of Jeremiah, chapter number 1, and it basically talks about where God was talking, to prophet Jeremiah, where he asked him, what is it that you are seeing? And he told him, and he said, correct, you are seeing what I'm seeing. Meaning he had tapped into the spirit, he had aligned to what God is doing, and he understood the language that God was talking to him about. And God himself confirmed and said, these are the things that I am saying. But the main scripture reading, it's in the book of 14. Sorry, Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 14. I want to read it word for word. And it says, then the Lord said to me, out of the north calamity shall break forth on all the inhabitants of the land. Change. When we are living, things happen, and as life goes on, our changes taking place all around us, we emerge into knowing and understanding while we tap into the system that is of God. Meaning whatever we do, as we grow, we tap into the area of God where God takes 100% leadership. And if we do it that way, the change is going to benefit us, because we can only go upwards. To the system that is of God. And if we do anything other than that, the system of the enemy takes over and it takes us down. Now, this simply means that we need to live on the blueprint of life that has been designed by God, that has been engineered by God himself with every details for optimum spiritual gain on our side. And if we do that way, we are going to reach out to a point where we do not neglect prayer. We neglect the only one who is currently focusing on the things that destroy the change that will benefit us through God. Now, we are living in a very interesting sphere, area of calamity, catastrophe time. And I'm asking myself, where is the church? Out of the north, calamity shall break in, and all the inhabitants of the land will feel it. God, as I was praying this morning, God just revealed to me that with this COVID-19, God has predetermined an expiry date. We have been complaining and not praying much, but God says his expiry date for this pandemic has been set. And God, if he says it, it will be. I want to talk quickly on divine healing. Matthew chapter 8 is prescriptive in divine healing. Jesus cleansed up the man that was possessed with leprosy. We know about Paul and the handkerchief. So we need to be praying so that these catastrophes respond to our prayer level. It's in such a manner that when we are around, nothing evil shall survive when we are in the midst. Paul did not have to touch people. He needed, whenever he moves, things will just happen because he was rooted in God, and the miracles that were happening there were relevant to what relates to the prayers that Paul did. Now, centurion woman's maid, you know the story. She said, she is a man of authority. This is something that moved God. This is something that surprised God, to say she has never seen such a face, such a faith in what she responded. She said, I'm a woman of faith. I've got powers. You do not have to come to my house. What will happen? Just speak a word. And this is what the Bible teaches us through many spheres. The book of John, where it says in the beginning, he's a speaking God. Genesis, he spoke and things happened. So we need to make sure that we follow God's way. If we look at the way things are happening here on earth, we've got organizations that are there, but they are not proactive. They are reactive in what they do. I can talk to the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army is one of the largest disaster relief organizations in the world today. They provide emergency assistance in many areas where if something happens, they are forever ready. We talk of the World Health Organization. They are there, but all these organizations, they are more on the reactive side. They wait for something to happen, and within God, they are ready. They have the resources to support everything that is happening in terms of emergency and all that. They provide feeding, temporary shelter, counseling, all these things are needed, but they are reactive. Here we've got, they are working on temporary gain, on temporary grace, and here we have God who's forever active, who's forever omnipotent, who's forever available for us. I remember the song by one of the legend, Jimmy Swaggart. He says, Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. Meaning, you speak before the things happen. And when they happen, you have already declared what needs to be done. Noah, I want to make an example from Noah. I got a revelation in terms of when Noah was building the church. The ark. The flood came, the preparation was done 100%. The quality of the wood was so strong. But I realized that when God wants to preserve his people, it doesn't matter what type of people. In the aspect of the ark, God, when all the animals and everything that had to go inside the ark, when everything was done, the people that were there, I'm sure they will pat themselves on the shoulder. However, about their works, God sealed them into the ark. It takes God to preserve his own, and God hides what he likes, irrespective of the quality material that was used to build the ark. He saw it necessary to go and seal the people, to make sure that the ark is waterproof, to make sure that the waterproof protect these people, irrespective of the flood, and the state afloat, irrespective of the heavy rain that were there. COVID-19, there's an expiry date that God has set aside. There is the expiry date that God said, this is it. Come this time, I'm going to seal everything. I'm going to complete and make sure that my people are reserved. So let's go to God with determination and believe His word, because what He said, He fulfills. What He says, He brings it to a pass. This is a temporary phenomenon, but we have abundant grace from God. COVID-19 is temporary. The grace that God has given us, we are seeing physical evidence where people are recovering. We are seeing physical evidence where people are talking, and to a point that they glorify this sickness. But God is saying today, God is saying, enough is enough. The expiry date has come, and is going to deliver us. With these few words, I would like to thank you, but something very special for tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about the God that heals. I'm going to talk about my personal experience. I've walked with God. I've been written off. But God is still a healer. And it's a personal experience that I want to share with you tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I will be talking about something dynamic that God has done in my life. God is still in the business of saving His people. God is still in the business of taking care of His own. God is still in the business of healing. Tune in tomorrow. I'm going to talk about this. It's closer to my heart. It's going to encourage you, because I know the God that I serve. I'm not going to be talking something that I've heard. I'm going to be talking about something that I know. Thank you so much for this wonderful time. We shall speak tomorrow. Make sure you tune in, put your comments in, and let God bless us and grow us. In Jesus' name, amen.